Hey guys, wagwan, and welcome to another episode of Young and Suffren. I'm here with my lovely husband, Isaac Suffren. How you doing, babe?
I am good. You?
I'm doing good and excited for episode 3.
Already.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I feel like so far the response has been good. We've been getting a lot of love, and I'm just super grateful. And I'm thankful for you guys' support, and hopefully you'll stick with us throughout this whole journey.
Yep. This takes us into the top 10% of podcasts. There's 90% of podcasts don't go past episode 3.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Well,
Or either they don't go past or they don't get to episode 3. One of the two. Either way, after this episode, we're gonna be in the top 10%. So already looking on the uptrend for us.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that. And honestly, it's been fun. I really enjoy coming here every week and just sitting down and chatting with you.
Yeah, I like it too. It's like a weekly date. So what are we talking about today? What's on the agenda?
Well, today I want to delve into like physical attraction, fitness, health, and just our individual journeys in that whole sphere, growing up, how we felt about our bodies, then college, and just like maybe high school, then college, and then where we are now.
Well, where do you want to start?
Well, I guess I could start from the top. So I grew up, I always had muscles. I'm not somebody that needs to work out to get really muscular. I'm just naturally like that. Honestly, my mother said when she gave birth to me, she was so shocked. 1, I was like extremely black. And then 2, I came out looking like I was lifting weights in her womb. She told me those words verbatim. So I'm just naturally really strong. And when you grow up in Jamaica, them love to give you pet names, like nicknames. And of course, you could guess my nickname was like Tuffy. And that was not a cute nickname to have. So I always kind of grew up not resenting my muscles, but it was just always the first thing. They'd call me Tuffy or Champion. And I just never felt comfortable with my muscles. But so I guess that's my starting point. It was just always muscle oriented.
And here I am growing up, always telling people. My mom used to ask me, "What do you want? What do you look for in a girl or whatever?" And she was just curious, I guess, or I don't know. Mm-hmm. I said, "Well, I want an athletic girlfriend."
Really?
Yeah, I always said that. I think more so that came from me being around basketball. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just, I guess, wanted somebody similar to me. But like it was always like the first thing, I want an athletic. You know, everybody has their preference. But mine was always like, I want an athlete.
Yeah, because from the first podcast, we know that you like dark skinned. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like the muscle part of it. It's like I check all your boxes.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a simple guy. I'm a very simple person. But yeah, it was always dark skin, muscular. I never had a thing for like non-American. That just kind of happened. You just happen to be Jamaican.
Yeah, happened to be Caribbean. But I guess you do like my. Did you like my accent? Was it a factor? Mm-hmm. Okay.
A factor? No, I think I could have been okay. I think America has so many different accents already.
True.
Right, as long as you didn't sound like one of them Baltimore people.
Oh gosh.
Baltimore up north, boy, they got the nastiest accent. When I went to Howard, I had a couple. A bunch of my teammates were from the DMV area, which is just up north. If you don't know, just all up north. And the dudes from Baltimore, they talk weird. I won't say talk weird. Okay, no, they talk weird.
Oh gosh.
I had a teammate named Ra. He like, yo, what you doing today? Like, what are you? Like, hey man, we'll be at Chick-fil-A, man. Let me get a number 2. Like, I don't like. It was so weird. Anything with an OU or EW.
Yeah, they emphasize it.
Yeah, but sidetrack. But no, I never had a preference for. America's so big. You know, you get different parts, really southern, up north, and then I don't really know what out west what they sound like over there, but
like Cali.
Yeah, they just kind of talk. I
feel like living there, I do have an idea. You know the Cali girl accent. You know it.
It depends how much money you have.
Okay. No, that's fair. That's fair.
It depends on
that's fair.
But yeah.
Growing up, did you have any of those experiences, or did you just like always feel great in your body growing up?
Oh yeah, I was. I mean, today's the most out of shape I've ever been in my life, ever. I would say because I grew up playing basketball. Right, I grew
You're
up
always
in the
an
gym.
athlete. Yeah.
Grew up in the gym. Like me being in shape was never like, a huge, oh, good job, Isaac, you're in such great shape.
You were just always like
it was
that.
an expectation, right? If you're going to hoop at a high level, you got to be in shape, right? My whole family played D1 basketball, right? My mother played at Austin P. My uncle played basketball and football at Iowa State. My other uncle played at NC Central.
I didn't know that.
My aunt was a track star. Was almost an Olympian, right? But got spiked, right? Tore up her leg. Yeah, I mean, did I miss anybody? I don't think I missed anybody. But, yeah, everybody either ran track or played basketball. So, my whole family's athletic. We're a family for athlete. My cousin's at Virginia Tech right now, D1 women's basketball. So, no, I never had any bodily, disappointments, insecurities.
Yeah.
I would say the only thing now is that ever since I removed myself from the game, it's been a weird relationship with the gym, which I think a lot of athletes go through, where a lot of people don't talk about this. But when your identity growing up is a sport and then you remove yourself from that sport, now anything related to the sport, you now have to have a different relationship with.
Yeah.
Like the gym used to be, I need to be in the gym because I need my vertical, I need my speed, I need my explosion, I need my lateral movement.
Right.
I was there for a reason. Now I'm there, like, because I want to be healthy, like because I got to take care of my body, because I want to look good, right? I used to didn't have to think about those things because it was a part of my everyday life outside of those reasonings.
Right.
Like, it was just a byproduct of, going to the gym because I wanted to be great in this sport. Looking good and feeling good and being healthy was like a byproduct of that. Now my intentions have to be changed, which is a really hard, like, relationship to like develop. And I think a lot of former athletes deal with it.
I think my own experience with sports, because I played sports, but it wasn't my identity. It was just something I did outside of academics. If I were to define myself on anything, it would be academics first and then like extracurriculars. So I'd play netball, and when netball was like off season, I'd just do basketball for the free lunch. And I was like always pretty active. But then when I got to college and there's no netball, there's no basketball, I'm also not walking as much, because in Jamaica, I take the bus. You're walking to the bus stop, you're walking about the place. So it's a lot of physical activity that you might not be aware that you're doing, but you're doing it. But now when everything is so convenient, you're not doing it as much, and you're eating way differently. You're eating way more. So surprisingly or not so surprisingly, the freshman year, I gained 20 pounds. And that was the most uncomfortable I felt in my body, like ever. And I'm so grateful for you, because even though I was bigger, and you guys, you have to also understand, I'm a short person. So I don't carry weight well. Like, it goes all in my face and it just does not look great. But you never made me feel that way. Like, I was just there in college, in love, and you never, well, a part of me looking back was like, yo, you should have told me I'd blown up this big. When I realized I'd gained so much weight was when I went back for like Christmas break, and my Auntie Ty, I will never live this down. I go and I see her and I say, hey, Auntie Ty, what going on? Just say, you put on weight. You get big, man.
But your whole family's like that.
Yes. And it's like, but the thing is, I understand when it's like an obvious thing. But all along, I thought it was the drying machine that was drying up my clothes and shrinking them. Seriously.
Oh, wow.
Because
I didn't know that.
Because before, I just like dry my clothes on the line. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like, yo, the washing and the drying machine kind of just shrinking up my clothes. So them kind of fit a little bit snug. But she let me know that's not the case. Mm-hmm. And you have indeed put on some weight. Your mother sent you as one person, and now you're returning as two.
Oh, wow.
So we had to fix that.
Yeah, Jamaicans are blunt.
Very, very blunt. Oh, gosh. But sometimes you need that.
You're blunt, but they're blunt in, like, the most creative ways. Like, like I could imagine like one of your family members in Jamaica seeing you 20 pounds heavier. Man, who ya eat, man? 2 bodies in them. Like, I can just see him saying something so out of pocket versus saying, "Hey, I think you put on a little couple pounds." Like, nah, they'll say something just outlandish. Like, you had a really thick skin. Like I feel like Jamaican people don't do well around sensitive people.
No,
at all.
You cannot be sensitive. What?
If anything, like y'all laugh at stuff that I think, like me being me, like in the most. People call me insensitive sometimes because I can be blunt, but like even for me, sometimes they're like, "Oh man, so and so, fell off a building, and oh man, they're in critical condition," and y'all make a joke, and everybody will start laughing, and I'm like, "Wow, that's horrible." I think that's something I've gotten used to, but boy, I think somebody looking outside in, they'll be like the fact, like you guys will call that looking out, just being honest, where like. You ate 2 people or something like that. But they'll say that with great intentions, like, "Hey, are you aware?" Like, that's their version of be like, "Hey, man, are you aware that you put on some weight?" Like, y'all version of that, be like, "Hey, who's stuck in Shantae?" So, yeah, I've learned that about Jamaicans. It's just so creative, which is probably why you guys make really good music.
Honestly, I think that's a fair correlation. It makes sense. It checks the box. It checks off for real. But question for you. Did you honestly not see me gaining that weight?
I had no idea. Just like now when you say, "Hey babe, do you see my 6-pack coming in?" or "Are you seeing any difference?" Like you ask me every day, "Do I see difference?" Like, no, I don't. But then I look back at a picture from you from last October. I'm like, "Yo, look at these pictures. Like, look at you now versus look at you back then." So I think that was kind of what it was. Like, I didn't realize how much weight you had gained until you lost it.
That's fair. That's
fair. I had no idea.
There was one point though remember when I went to the hospital when I'd cut my finger with the knife? I went to the hospital, to the ER.
I'm not laughing that she cut her finger, by the way. I'm laughing at what's about to come. But go ahead. I
went to the ER, and the nurse, they have to like take your vitals and everything, check your weight. And it comes to the time when now I have to step on the scale. And I step on the scale, and I'm a bit, nervous, but not too much. I say, how bad could it be? Mind you, I went to college at like 143 pounds. The lady, she's just at her desk writing everything down. She looks at 163. And
I remember you being so embarrassed. I wasn't tripping.
You weren't tripping?
No, I was
How do you not trip?
That's not what I was thinking about. I was like, well, okay, 163, whatever. But boy, you thought she dropped the bomb.
My gosh. Honestly, I was like, Miss, you couldn't whisper that? You couldn't whisper 163? My boyfriend is next to me, and he's like 190. We're almost the same weight.
That's a big difference. But
but I'm a girl. I'm 5'5". I should not be close to you like that.
Yeah, I honestly did not hear it. I wasn't. I don't know how you internalize it and how I probably didn't. I was like, oh, okay. Is her finger going to be okay? 'Cause like you literally.
Yeah, you were focused on the right things. But when I heard that number, I was like, okay, it's not the washing machine. Something really needs to change. And I just cannot continue like this. It's a very.
Was that like the realization, or was that?
It was that. It was like that paired with, because that was freshman year, first semester.
Was it first semester?
Around that time, and then my aunt with all of that, I was like,
that's pretty quick to gain 20 pounds though.
Right. Honestly,
like 2 months, 3 months.
In no time, you just blow up like a blowfish. And it's like, when in Jamaica, I was pescatarian, so it's easy to be pescatarian in an island.
True.
You're surrounded by it. You get some fish, get some kalaloo. The Jamaican diet is pretty healthy. When I came to America,
it's not all processed and stuff. Right. Like you guys, like a lot of what I eat every time we go is somebody caught it, cleaned it, cooked it, right there.
Exactly.
Even the fancy restaurants, they're like, yeah, we go and
get the things.
Yeah.
So
they like now in America they.
Oh gosh, you don't know what you're eating.
And then no, we don't catch it. We import it, and then we.
No, you lab grow it.
Or something, and then we stick with a bunch of stuff for. and then put it on there, just put it on the in the aisles just to so it can last longer, so it looks better for a longer time. I will say everything in Jamaica does taste very fresh. I had never from plantains to any type of fruit, vegetables. Everything's very fresh. I mean, everything tastes good, right? I don't think I've ever had anything I was like, I don't like this.
No, I think that's one thing. Also, coming to America and seeing how big fruit could get,
yeah.
Why is the banana so big?
Yeah.
Why are the apples the size of my head? Where are the seeds in the watermelon?
But here's the thing, though. Most people, well, I can realize that because I've been elsewhere and looked, but I think one thing that every American should really look at is how we're viewed from the outside in, right? I think like talking to people who aren't from America, right? Like, yo, Americans, y'all put a lot of the stuff y'all eat is banned here. Like the cereals y'all eat, you can't get that in my country, right? Because the stuff that's in it, they consider it poison.
That's crazy.
Right here, like the food we get or the food we grow here doesn't go through a bunch of chemical processes before we eat it. The meat we eat here, we don't blow it up with a bunch of
hormones.
So it can be bigger and last longer. Like, no, we eat is fresh, which is why America is very unhealthy. Like you if you look at American food, yeah, I wouldn't really want to eat American food, right? Burgers and fries is kind of what I think the perception is. But yeah, I agree. You kind of have to, and it's kind of a little bit frustrating, a little bit trying to be healthy, but even unintentionally eating the bad stuff anyways.
Oh my gosh. Speaking about a recent interaction we had, remember when we were driving back from San Antonio and you showed me the popcorn and you're like, oh, this is 9 grams of sugar. Like
yeah, I thought I was doing it right.
And I was like, yeah, 9 grams of sugar, but in one packet is 4 servings. So it's like that's 36 grams.
Yeah, I didn't.
You're maxing out your sugar intake by this one packet, and then he looks at me and says, "Oh, I've been doing it wrong."
Yeah, I think that was more an ignorant thing.
Yeah, but still, like people just they don't. In America, you have to be very vigilant because you don't know what you're putting into your body. And then another thing I've realized also is with diet, in your formative years, you acquire the taste for it. And when you're trying to change that or change your diet, it's hard. Because sometimes I'm looking at like your traditional breakfast, and those are the things that you like because they're nostalgic for you. You grew up on stuff like that. And it's hard to change that for you. Don't you think? Like it's harder because you grew up on this. You grew up on this, or you grew up on the pancakes, you grew up on the sausage and the bacon. And I just think if me coming out, I'm saying, yo, Isaac, I don't want you to be eating stuff like this. I feel like it's hard for you, honestly, and I do empathize with you because you grew up on stuff like that. But when you really look into it, all that type of food, that should even be a breakfast food.
I mean, it's hard for me for multiple reasons. Not only because I grew up on it, but because I grew up on it and I could be okay eating it because I was so active all the time. My day-to-day activity since college has decreased exponentially.
Yeah.
Simply because it's, I'm not a D1 athlete anymore, right? So I'm not on the court 40 hours a week, literally, plus weights, plus conditioning.
Right. So you could pass on the physical, like, impacts of that or the outward appearance of that type of diet. But what I'm more concerned about is your health. Quite honestly, it's just like you are naturally blessed. You will never be a fat person. It's just not in your genes. Your family is pretty slim. Like there's nobody that's like big or anything like that. Me on the other hand, I have to watch how I eat. And in college, you were an athlete, and that's a full-time job. I don't know. Shout out to all the student athletes out there because it's actually crazy. I was just studying every day, yet you and I were eating the same. Make it make sense. You would go to Lower, have your little chicken tenders and fries. I would be on your lap eating out of your chicken tenders and fries, and you would look okay. You would look great. Next thing, I look obese. So it's like it's.
I mean, but like the reason why I I guess it depends on body types and genetics. But I think most athletes, I could say, D1 athletes at that level, we are encouraged to eat anything and as much as we can. Yeah, because we burn so many calories every single day. Like, if I didn't eat as much as I ate, I would lose weight, right? Because I'm running so much, I'm lifting. And when you lift, you got to eat even more so you can build muscle.
Right.
Right? So I'm eating, literally, they say, yo, grab it, eat it, grab it, eat it, grab it, eat it. Right? It wasn't, obviously nutrition was.
Yeah, it's not so much the quantity, though, that I'm concerned with. It's the quality of the food.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah. I mean, in America, they make it so much harder because the healthy stuff is expensive.
More, slightly. Yeah, it's easier to eat.
There's a bunch of factors. There's a bunch of factors, to be quite honest. But you do have to be intentional. One thing I will say about you is that you, like, once you realize that you were, like, big, despite what I was telling you, like, I literally used to tell you, like, you look good. What are you tripping about? I used to tell you that all the time. But I won't say I was blinded or I was being dishonest. I literally didn't notice it. Right? I just didn't notice. I looked at you like, ooh, she looked good. Every single day. I was like, oh, she looks amazing. Right? And then you lost weight. I was like, oh, she looks even better. Didn't even realize she can look better. Right? But I will say, once you realized you were big or bigger, like you weren't like huge, like don't throw out proportion, but you did gain weight. But you were locked in from there on out. Like there was no, like you were at the gym 2 times a day. Like you were like, you were eating good. Despite the lack of options, like you were still finding a way to eat very healthy. I would say it's true. Like how you do one thing is how you do everything. Because every aspect of your life was very disciplined. Like one thing I can always respect, once you make a decision about the change you're going to make, the change is made, right? It's just about how many days, or it's just about the amount of days that you're going to say you're going to do it. And literally that's what you do. I remember you saying, yeah, like I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat that. And if there was no other options but those things, you'd just be hungry, right? And if you were going to go to bed at a certain time because you could wake up at a certain time, like that's exactly what you were going to do, which I can always respect.
I appreciate that. And one thing I'm grateful for you for is that you taught me how to work out. Do you remember that summer? Because I never really went to the gym to just work out. It was always through sports that I would get my workouts in. But you were there with me, like teaching me how to, use the machines, how to split up the exercises. You really got me on track because, you were an athlete and you were used to that. So you really helped me get started into the whole. I just put
you through our workouts.
Yeah, that's really how I got started.
I was doing 2 workouts because I worked out with you sometimes as well. But the one thing I would say is like after leaving college, I realized how I don't know how to work out.
What?
It's very difficult for me to, because I'm so used to a coach telling me what to do.
Guiding you through it. I get in the gym like, what should I do? Right? So I do value like having a personal trainer. I was boxing a lot in Las Vegas. Right? So I do value like having that coach to tell you what to do. Not only that, but just to push you and to kind of keep you on, hold you accountable. Right.
Right? So for me, when you was going through it, I was like, oh, well, this is easy because this is
just copying and pasting.
Yeah, pretty much. Cardio, lifting. You hated me sometimes though.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I got really irritated many times, but because I wasn't as fit as I thought I was. Like the little things, even though I was never like absurdly unfit. Like 2 minutes on the Stairmaster and you're like, come on, you can do it. And I'm like, shut up. Honestly, but that was my first time ever just being really diligent and intentional with working out. But even after I'd gained those first 20 pounds, I actually gained 15 again during COVID. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And even though I was working out consistently, I had to realize that you cannot outwork a poor diet. You simply cannot. And yes, I was strong and yes, I was fit, but I was also bigger. And I don't want to be bigger. I'm not fat phobic. I just don't carry weight well. Like it's not something, some people say, oh, when I put on weight, it goes in my butt, no, it goes in my face. And I over here look like a Teletubby. And that is not what I want to look like.
And to what you said, being pro-healthy is not anti-fat, right? In a sense that people make it out to be. Obviously, when you say it, I'm pro-healthy.
Yeah.
Obviously, in that definition, it can seem like, hey, I just don't aspire to look this way, feel this way, and, you know, my health to be that way.
Right.
But it's not a negative to say you don't want to be big. Look, I keep it a buck. I keep it a buck at all times, right? If you say I want to look this way, that's not a bad thing. I think society kind of messes. They blur the lines of, hey, I don't like pancakes. Oh, you hate or you love waffles? No, I didn't say that. I just said I don't like pancakes.
Right.
Right. That so if you don't want to, you know, I feel like you don't have to step on eggshells when you say, hey, I want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to look a certain way. Right. I want the 6-pack. I want to feel good, look good every time I walk past a mirror. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I feel like I feel like, especially again, it's an American thing. Mm-hmm. You go across the country, you go out of the country, you don't hear stuff. But you got to go out the country to see it.
Yeah.
You don't hear all the stepping on eggshells, or you can't say nothing to know about it, or you can't even have your own preferences, right? Hey, I like a very fit, athletic woman. Oh, I didn't want you anyway. Oh, yeah, we didn't want you over here anyway, right? Oh, you can't handle a thick girl. All I said was I want a fit woman. I want an athletic looking woman, right? But nowadays. Right, even what you just did.
Yeah.
In Jamaica, you wouldn't even said that.
As I said before, I've learned to soften my language and to be more sensitive, and I think that is important, especially on platforms like this.
I would say there's a demographic of America that's really tired of like having to cross their T's and dot their I's over everything they say. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Are you president?
I won't be disrespectful. Right, I won't go out my way to disrespect anybody.
Okay,
but I also am that demographic of America who will just simply say how they feel and be okay with it. Like, hey, it's okay to say what you said. Hey, I aspire to look my very best and be very healthy, because looking anywhere else, any kind of way doesn't suit what I want for myself. That's okay. Simple as that. There's no underlying tone. There's no underlying meaning. Say Shantae is going to look as beautiful as she does every single day. That's how I see it.
Point taken. I agree. I think being more lean and having my muscles show and like just being that way, I feel my happiest and I feel most confident, because if I'm not attracted to myself, how can I expect you to be attracted to me? And I know that you're attracted to me even when I was still big.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I didn't feel good. It's the worst thing to look in the mirror and to not see yourself. Mm-hmm. Like to see something totally different and to be stuck in that thing and not be able to get out of it. It's actually, it's very infuriating, but at the end of the day, who are you going to be angry with? You did it to yourself.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people feel that way, whether you're, you know, you look the way you, or whether you're skinny and still don't like the way you look, or whether you're big and still don't like the way you look.
Right.
I think it comes down to a matter of just discipline, because I know plenty of guys, plenty of women who probably don't like the way they look, but still won't do anything about it.
Right.
Right. Which is why I always respected how you went about what you didn't like about yourself and how you went about changing it. I also agree, like there is a level of confidence you feel when you do, you know, get in shape and feel good, right? You feel good, you look good, and that really touches on how you treat people. It touches on the energy you put out, right? Not to say that if you look otherwise, you won't put out good energy.
There's a stark difference, though.
There is a difference, right? And for you've been on the other side of not feeling that way. And again, everybody's different, but I think that at the end of the day, right, what you put in, you put out, right? So you put in good stuff, you put out good stuff. That's why for me, I think as an athlete, you know, you always feel good after a workout, right?
All the time.
I put some really good work in today, right? You may not want to, or it may suck in the moment, but after you're done, you feel good, right? And I think that's a clean. I think that matters a lot. Now, one thing I can't relate to is always eating good, though. Right? Because when I eat bad, I still feel good. When I eat bad, I still feel good. Again, that
doesn't on it. You're being for real. You don't. Okay, you eat like a well-balanced meal versus carb-heavy, sugar-heavy meal. you don't feel a difference?
Look, me and my Uncle Hughes, we would we'd be in California. He used to live in LA. So I go visit him in LA. You know, we eat, you know, because he's a fit guy, personal trainer, right? We'll eat, get something to eat. He's like, man, I need to wash it down with a shake or something. That's my philosophy. Like, dang, man, that was good, well balanced. Had my veggies, had my protein, had glass of water. Man, I need to shake this down with 36 grams of sugar or something. You know, just a little slushy or something, a little smoothie. That's kind of. but my family, my uncles, we're all built the same, right? I'm 6'4", my uncle's 6'3", my other uncle's 6'2.5". All we won't get fat, right?
Lucky.
Anything we put in, like, we'll be okay. We'll just be unhealthy, but we're all generally active, just throughout our lives. So we've never been punished for, man, I need to, hey man, you trying to wash that down with some little milkshake or something? Like, you know what, man, you right.
But the thing with you is like, okay, I'm all for you. And not every day going to be a clean day. I mean, you can't have a dessert, you can't have a one cookie. But the fact that you have the ability to eat 6 cookies in one sitting is unbelievable.
I think that's a mixture of I'm a
gluttony.
I'm a lot bigger.
Okay.
Right? I'm a bigger person. Right, 1 cookie to you. We both get 1 cookie. You're
2
satisfied. I'm like, that's a little cookie. That's a little ass cookie. But I will say that I do believe that sugar is a drug. Sugar is addicting. Like, I will find myself, like, I'll be working or doing something, like, man, I need some sugar. And I'm like trying to fight the feeling of getting some sugar somewhere, right? But I've realized that. So, one thing once I kind of realized that, plus, understanding my family history, our relationship with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, right, high sugar levels, right, becoming less ignorant on those facts, being more intentional with not consuming as much sugar. And also, I didn't realize how much sugar I consume on a daily basis.
Really?
Right? I didn't account for the sugar that I drank. I only account for the sugar that I ate, right? And once I realized that, man, I just went through 3 Gatorades, right? I got soda, I got a smoothie, I got a milkshake, and then I was like, you know what? I'll get a slice of cake today because I'm gonna reward myself. I haven't got a slice of cake in like 2 weeks, but I didn't realize I didn't drink sugar all day, right? I had a Red Bull, right, and then all of a sudden, and then I'm consuming food that
with carbs.
I'm gonna have a market salad from Chick-fil-A. It has strawberries in it, but that's just more sugar.
And then the carbs that then turn into sugar.
Right, and then you go and get some bread, something with a lot of bread in it. And next thing you know, bread breaks down into sugar. So then, I go to the doctor, like, yo, you have really high blood sugar, right? I'm like, really? Well, I don't eat that many cakes, right? But that's where my mind goes, and I'm like, you know what? After really doing just the minimal amount of research, I was like, dude, I consume a lot of sugar. So, and without even going back to the doctor since the last time, I already know those levels have gone down a lot because I don't drink a lot of, like, if I drink a Gatorade, I'll get it sugar free, right? Even though I'm sure there's something in there it still tastes sweet. There's gotta be something bad in it, right? But I don't drink as much soda. Like, every blue moon I'll get a Sprite,
right?
And one thing I realized is that you step away from it from a little bit, the desire for it goes away.
Yes.
Over time. So I don't feel the need to, get a Sprite all the time or get a milkshake all the time. Like, every now and then I'll get something. But now when I do get it, I think about it.
Okay.
Right. So I'm like, oh man, I just had that. So, I can't fool around and go get this now. And I'll start being very intentional with stuff versus it just being a part of the daily routine.
I think or history with food or how we grew up eating. Sometimes you'll see me making a meal and you'll look at it as like a struggle meal. Like, sometimes you see me make tuna and an egg sandwich together and you're like, you're having that? And I'm like, there's so many nutrients in this. Is a nutrient-dense meal.
The way you and my mother eat, oh my gosh, I would rather, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to say that. But I mean, my mother would be like, "Oh my gosh, Isaac, I just had the best breakfast." I'm like, "Oh, what'd you have?" I had a slice of toast, some avocados, and a banana.
What's wrong with that?
Everything. I mean, I need the grits, eggs,
And
sausage.
that herein lies your problem.
But here's the crazy part is that I need to do more research on like calorie intake and like, cause I feel like the foods, here's another thing I've been researching. The foods I eat still make me feel hungry. Right. So I'll eat something and I'll feel very hungry, but I also see the stuff you guys eat, and you guys will be talking about all the calories and stuff, but you don't feel as hungry later. So I think there's some push and pull in terms of finding the balance between the good stuff and then not also feeling hungry. Because one thing I realized is that you can eat, like there's a reason I could eat a Chick-fil-A meal and then want to get something else 30 minutes later. Because it probably is not as...
It's not satiating at all. There's maybe not enough protein or enough fiber in the meals. You don't eat things like beans. You don't eat... I would say your palate is not very extensive. And also I feel like being Jamaican, I eat everything. Like I eat the rainbow.
I would say that's a personality thing.
You said...
I'm a big... Like if I go to a restaurant, I don't care about the menu. I'm gonna get what I know.
You're
gonna
get chicken
like.
tenders,
no,
steak.
I'm gonna get what I know I'm gonna like. You, and here's the thing. Here's me. Okay. Hey, mister, I've been here 100 times. I'm gonna get that. I'm not gonna try anything else because I know that is good.
Okay.
This one over here, what's good? Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna try that. Oh, babe, I don't like it. What did you get? Ooh, that's so good. Can I have some? Now I gotta share. Because I'm rewarded for my consistency.
Okay, and sometimes you need to try different things. That is how I will live my life.
That's fine. Look, I started getting stuff with dairy in it because she's lactose intolerant.
You're so
Hey, sir,
wicked.
does this have cheese in it? No. Could you add some pepper jack, right? Yeah, some American. Just put it on top, mix it in. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, babe, can I? I would, babe. I really would. But unfortunately.
Yeah.
Right? I love this whole no meat thing you're doing now.
Yeah, I'm taking a break from just like me focusing on more fiber, doing a pescatarian diet right now. And I am okay with being called more picky now. If anything, it really does help me narrow down my choices when I go out to eat. I just look for what they have, the salmon or any fish meal, and that's what I will get. And it's at a point now where the effects of eating dairy, like the consequence outweighs any little immediate joy of eating the food. Like the skin implications, like me having little patches and breaking out, and then the immediate,
Oh, you get all that from eating dairy?
Yeah, it's just not worth it anymore. So I've just decided to stay away from that, and just it's an act of self-love to stay away from dairy for me. And I think once you take out something, like taking out the meat allows me to focus on other nutrients that I've probably neglected, like fiber, which is so important. And I feel like right now we're in a protein craze. Everybody's like, eat protein. But babes, you need to eat fiber so that you can have a strong digestive system. You could be going to the bathroom more often. So that's my focus right now. And it's just what I find works for me, along with intermittent fasting as well.
I have mixed feelings about the whole social media protein craze. So many people say so many different things.
Oh gosh.
Like some people say, hey, carnivore only diet. Then people say vegan. First of all, I'm never doing that vegan crap. Like, don't hand me no vegan burger. Like vegan cheese, and then what is this, make believe stuff? Like if anything, that sounds more sus than
I agree.
Like, hey, there's a vegan steak. What do you mean vegan steak?
I mean like mushrooms.
How do you want your vegan steak? I don't know.
What's in it, yeah.
Well, what is that? What is a vegan steak? But I will say the carnivore diet, like strictly protein, strictly carnivore, and then you have the vegan, and then you got
the low carb.
You got so many different things.
The paleo.
And you know the crazy part is it's so hard to know who to listen to, especially in America. And let me tell you why. It's because in America, the country is run by pharmaceutical companies.
Corporations,
corporations, right? So who's to say you go to the doctor to find out, hey, I don't know if something's wrong with me. Who knows if they're they want to tell you what's going to get you to buy the prescription, so the insurance pays them, because that's how they make their money, versus actually telling you what's actually wrong, right? Who's to say that the pharmaceutical companies don't have a hand in what we eat every day?
Ooh,
right?
I'm sure they do.
So
they do.
Can make their money, right? Because what's a pharmaceutical company if you have no sick people, right? So I think that's why listening to people is so hard. Like there's so many thoughts I have. Like I wouldn't mind going to like getting a farm.
Oh gosh, here we are.
Growing our own food and like just being off the grid. I wouldn't mind that, honestly. But then again, I do like the city life, so I'll never do it. I won't say I'll never do it, but I won't ever like be there 100% of the time. But it feels like life would be much more simple. Like you don't have to worry about what's happening.
And what's in the food.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's so untrustworthy nowadays. Like you really have to be intentional with what you like. Look at the ingredients. Look and see what's in food. I feel unsettled when I pick something up that should be rather simple and it has a bunch of chemicals in it.
Right. Or it's marketed as, what's the word they love to use? Organic.
No. It's like grass fed, but they have underlying meanings like, hey, I'll tell you it's organic, but it's only organic because we exclude these chemicals, while these chemicals are approved by whatever board that allows us to use it and claim it to be organic. So again, this is stuff you'll find in America, right? Again, you go, look, I ain't see none of that stuff in Jamaica.
Yes, I agree. Naturally, you'll have more natural options in Jamaica, more homegrown. But a huge thing in Jamaica is the fact that we import a lot. And that's one thing that is to the detriment of our economy. Because we don't produce a lot on our own, we do import quite a few things. And that also feeds into the Jamaican diet. And it's been changing recent. I was doing some research, and you would think that the main cause of death is like violence in Jamaica, but it's not. People are dying from heart attacks. They're dying from cardiovascular related diseases and non-communicable diseases because the Jamaican diet has become unhealthy because of I feel like culture has a lot to do with that as well. America being such a behemoth, right? And I feel like everything kind of just like transcends. Media plays a role in that, and us wanting to try the new things and just having a demand and a taste for American products has also caused that. So it's very interesting. They're naturally, like, if you go to Jamaica in the country, the diet, 10 out of 10. But I think and
the food is good.
The food is amazing.
Like when we went to, it was
Fish in the Bush.
That was really good. But no, it was the first time I went to Jamaica with you, and it was on the beach, and the water was like really close.
Was it Helsha? Were we Kimani? Yeah, Helsha.
Yeah, they see
fish.
The boats out there. They getting the fish, right? There is no like if you would ask, hey man, so what is this? It's fish. All right, or what's in it? It's fish, right? If life could just be that simple, but again, it's up to us to kind of. It's really bare minimum research, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Although there's a lot of stuff going on, it's very accessible. Like, it's right in front of your face.
The onus is on us, for sure.
If you want to know what it is you're consuming. It's just a lot of loops and a lot of stuff you have to be intentional about avoiding.
Super intentional. Because I've had lots of Jamaican women, like my aunt, she's always been, it's Auntie Liz, she's always been slim, like, figure was like that, but ever since coming to America, she says she doesn't know. She's working out, she's trying to eat better, but she cannot seem to lose the weight. And I think it's just what she has access to out here. It's a diet out here that makes it harder. But I genuinely believe that if she were to go back and live in Jamaica, she'd just go right back down. So it's very interesting, the differences and how keen you have to be living here. And sometimes you have to be picky, but that is fine because you are worth it. Your health is worth it. Your confidence is worth it. And, yeah.
I would say just one piece of advice I would give to anybody who is looking to lose weight or just find out how to be healthier in general. you know you know the things that you eat that are unhealthy. Like, you already know what it is, right? Even if you're eating it anyway. Choose 1 or 2 things and then just stay away from it just for 2 weeks, right? Eat it again, I almost guarantee you will be nasty, right? Because I genuinely think our bodies know it's nasty, but we get so accustomed to eating it that it becomes normal, and it tastes normal, and it tastes fine, just like it always tastes. But as soon as you get away from it and you go back,
it's like a detox.
Exactly. It's literally like a cleansing where you're like, oh, this is nasty. I did that with fries.
Really?
Right. I haven't had fries in a very long time. Like, now it's been a very long time since I like actually went to a restaurant like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's and like got a medium fry. I remember I went to Chick-fil-A and I replaced the fries with a fruit cup. Right. One time I was like, man, let me get fries. Couldn't even eat it.
Wow.
Couldn't even eat it because it just fresh and just how it usually is, but it just didn't taste good at all. And again, it was just one of those things where whatever is in it, like try to give a dog some processed food.
Yeah,
right?
They'll sniff it out and be like, no.
They're like, I'm not eating that.
On that point of dogs and their diet, so we have a dog. Her name is Blue. Shout out to Blue. The Jamaican dogs have kind of skewed my mentality as it relates to the food that we give them. Honestly, they're grateful for everything.
I don't know how those dogs survive. No, genuinely, like, I have no idea.
They're fighters. That's what they are, honestly. And in Jamaica, the dogs eat what we eat. After we eat our dinner, we'll go out, we'll scrape out the plate, and they will eat the food. Them eat birthday cake, them eat KFC, them eat fish bone, regular bone.
They have no choice.
Them eat raw meat. Like, after your mother clean the chicken, to put the chicken in the backyard, the dogs come to eat. I come here, and I'm giving Blue the same food, anything that I don't eat, or I want her to have some. I give her mango, I give her carrot, I give her pineapple, I give her like, Isaac will see me and say, what are you doing? Apparently Blue has IBS or something. She can't just eat any little thing.
I say that because you don't know how, look, them dogs outside, they can shit wherever. Something upset Blue's stomach and she got diarrhea for 2 days. I guarantee you're going to wish he ate that kibble. Now, when it comes to, I only say that when you have food that you like season up and like all that and you give it to her, I'm like, don't give her that. But like fruit, raw meat with no seasoning.
Sometimes I give her snacks like popcorn. Anything I eat.
I don't know about,
sometimes I will research it. I just make sure not to do the chocolate and the grapes. But it's so natural for me to like, if I'm eating something and she wants something, I'm just going to give it to her. But it's not the same here. Isaac has a interesting relationship with the animals in Jamaica. Like, we will be going to KFC and there's a dog.
I feel like I'm just American. Not Americans, I think
the man will
love dogs.
Sometimes we'll just we give the dog the bone. There is meat on the bone that Isaac will give to the dog.
Look, I'm like, hey man, look, I know you ain't ate since last week. Least I can do, I can get another bucket. Here you go. Look, yeah, and then the Jamaican people look at me and do this, why you feed dog, man? Why you feed dog? And I'm like, dude, why you worry about it? Like, little dog, like Jeremy, outside your aunt's house. He laying in the middle of the road. He wants to end it all because Buddy can't find no food. I'm like, come here, Jeremy.
He named a stray dog Jeremy.
Yeah.
Claimed the dog and fed him. What did you give him?
Chicken.
Full chicken, not half-eaten chicken.
Said, look, I know what it's like to be hungry. Hungry ain't fun. He was in the middle of the road, in the dark.
He said he was giving up on life.
It was over. Who knows? I might have bought him a couple weeks. I have no idea. But yeah, look, I don't know how any of the dogs survive in Jamaica. And you gotta, like, for the record, if you don't know, stray dogs in Jamaica is like it's like
squirrels.
It's like squirrel. Yeah, like you see, there's a dog. Like they're just everywhere. I won't say they're like overrun because it's not like you see a lot of them, but it's not like overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, there's dogs everywhere. No. But there are, and they all look the same. Like there's just mutts, just all over the island. And I don't know how they eat. I will say I've never seen one that was like extremely malnourished. They all kind of look the same, build and everything like that. So they're getting it from somewhere. But yeah, Jeremy, I felt so bad. I think because in America, see a stray dog, you save the dog,
Right.
Oh, adopt a dog. Right there is just like, just a dog.
Just a dog.
Just a dog. Even the cats aren't as bad.
No, the cats fend for themselves. They're all right.
But cats are more. I say they're more hunters than dogs are naturally.
You think so?
Yeah. I would say like dogs give a chase, but cats, they're stealthy. They're stealth animals, right? They can get a mouse, like they're downwind. They can go stealthily grab a mouse or something like that. But dogs, I don't know, man. At least them dogs.
So as you can tell, I'm just not naturally an animal or dog person, but being married, I've had to become like more considerate, and with marriage you compromise. I've grown to be fond of Blue. Will I ever say I'm her mom? No. I actually don't like that term. I'm her guardian. I ensure that she eats, that she
come a long way,
poops.
though.
I have, and I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I like Blue. At first, we were just roommates. Now we're guardians, and
You
I
did not like Blue at first, though. You were so mad when we got Blue.
Yes, because you were so impulsive, though, because you said, "Oh, think about getting a dog. Let's consider the idea." I was like, "Okay, let me sleep on it." Thinking we're gonna talk about it a few more weeks or something. The man comes home with the animal. What?
Yeah, just a little thing too. You can't be mad.
You know how much time Blue piss up my carpet?
Yeah, but she's a good dog. She's a really good dog.
She's a good dog.
Mini golden doodle. Very smart breed. Right? If you get a dog, you got to get one that's born smart. I don't know how it works, but Blue is just naturally just a smart
They're
dog.
naturally smart.
Dog.
Yeah.
She's
and
good.
she doesn't shed, so I love that.
Yep,
about her.
hyperallergenic, perfect dog.
Yeah, but with that, I guess we could wrap up this episode. What do you think?
Yeah, that was a good episode. That was an interesting one. Talked a lot about food, health, diet, but I think those are important conversations. To be quite honest, because man, if you move in ignorance, I think the worst thing to do in America, at least, right? I love America. Don't get me wrong.
Right? No, for sure. Love the land America. Of opportunity.
But you do have to, capitalism, right? It's you make money how you can get money around here, and it's led by corporations, right? Not all are bad,
right?
But there's a lot of them that
don't care about you,
don't necessarily
and your
care
health.
About you. Yeah. So best thing you can do is do as much research as you can, and really, you have to find it within yourself to really make sure that you're intentional with the stuff you consume. Because hey, your body's your temple.
That's right. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.
See ya.